Hi guys, Leah Vanderlinden here, and I am a soul development guide where I help literally guide you back to the way that your soul was originally designed before the inner child and the inner wounded woman emerged and took over. So that's one of the many things that I have the honor of saying that I get to do. But tonight I want to talk about how to protect your energy. I opened it up for a question and answer time in here to see what was some things that was on your guys' minds about things that you wanted to know. And one that came up from Christina, hi Shelly, was how can we protect our energy? And this is such a great question because oftentimes when you think of protecting your energy, a lot of people automatically think of I'm an empath and I absorb other people's energy, and when I go into the room I can feel their emotions and their sadness, and I can feel if it's stressful in there, I can feel all these things. But another way that you can also pick up on energy that sometimes you need to protect yourself from are things you can't avoid, like family members or loved ones, or even down to when you're staying with someone and their energy is affecting your energy. There comes a time that you have to really protect that energy because your energy is so powerful and it holds the key to so many things, right? So it's no wonder why you would want to protect it. Another time that your energy can be really vulnerable and receptive to picking up on things is anytime that you go through a really big transition in your life, right? When you're going through a big change for the better, especially, and you're really changing your energy shifts and what you put in and what you put out. It is natural that you're going to become sensitive and really receptive to energy shifts and energy changes, especially if you are already really highly sensitive or you're an empath that's really good at picking up on energy. Then your energy is going to feel like, or can feel like, it's almost out of control and it's all over the place, right? So it can make you feel like, when you feel like you don't have control of your energy, it can make you feel anxious around other people, where you almost want to avoid crowds or being in public at all, because you might not even know why. You just know that you feel really tired or drained or snappy or bitchy when you're in a crowd, and you're not really sure why. You just know you're really sensitive to everything that's all around you. And honestly, if you get in a place like that where crowds are overwhelming, it doesn't really feel fun to be at an event, because you're not quite sure what you're going to pick up on when you leave. Hi Jennifer, hi Faith, how are you ladies? Hi, Miss Paula, how are you? So a lot of times people that are really energy sensitive, they might even avoid going and being around crowds because they have no idea when they come home what the hell they're going to take on, or what they're going to have to do when they leave the crowd. And so they just know that it really depletes their energy, and they don't even know why, but they're just kind of overwhelmed, or they become almost overcame or overcome with emotions. Um, and so what to do with all that, right? What to do if you are in a situation where you have to be in a crowd, or you're in a situation, hi, you have to be around family members that have a way of sucking your energy dry or leeching onto you, right? How can you protect yourself? Well, that's a great question that Christina had, and I want to make sure that we address it. So there's a lot of different ways on what you can do. And there's ways of, or there's times you're going to really need to protect your energy, like when you're around negative coworkers or negative family members or toxic parents, right? Um, we want to make sure that we don't get on that same level, or when we're around someone that we just know might tend to really drain us emotionally. What should we do? Well, I'm going to tell you some generic ones that everybody and their mother knows, but then I'm going to tell you some ones that are just Leah ones, or Leah ones that I do that personally work for me. I don't know all the answers to everything, and there's probably 50 other women in this group that are going to know 50 other things that they personally do that raise their energy. And that's what makes this group so great, because collectively there's going to be something that you do that's going to work for you. And that's why it's so awesome to have all these awesome brains together. So my favorite way of kind of controlling my energy or getting my energy up for sure. Faith, we actually talked about this, is gratitude showers or taking showers and allowing my body to really feel the water and cleanse my spirit and almost baptize my energy in a higher vibration. I like to literally picture any negative energy just washing off my body and going down the drain. When I'm in the shower, I also like to set intentions for the day. The intention setting does something about raising my vibration. When I say and give gratitude for thanking God for the way that things are going to go, per se, meaning thank you, God, so much for all the fun I have today. I am so grateful for how much I've gotten to laugh today, all the incredible spiritual leaders that have crossed my path. Thank you. Thank you for all the green lights and all these things. I'm setting an intention where that intention, without even realizing it, is protecting me, right? Because I'm setting an intention of things that are great, that are good, that are happy, that are raising that energy. And the higher that my energy is, the more protective that energy is around me. The lower my energy is, the more receptive I am to letting low energy and low vibration things in my magnetic field. So the more things I do that really set that energy up and set it high, hi Christina, the more it protects me without even realizing it. The more depressed I feel, the more irritable I feel, the more down I feel, the more what? The more lower my vibe is, and the more receptive I am to things that are also going to match that vibration. So the gratitude and setting intentions, I know you guys hear that all the time, but I'll never stop talking about it. It's life-changing. Gratitude literally affects your attitude, completely affects it. Doing grounding, going outside barefoot is such a beautiful way of grounding you, and grounding you puts you back into really connecting with what connects you in the first place, which is the connector, right? It's our source energy, our source light. It's God. It's whatever you believe, but it's whatever connects you back to being in the highest vibrational state possible. For me, that's God. For me, that's source, right? So I want to connect to source at all times. And one quick way to do that is being out in the sun and being in nature and feeling the sunshine on my body. It just instantly raises the vibration and it raises my energy, which puts me in a better, more aware state, which is easier for me to protect me. Grounding does the same thing. I often, when I'm barefoot and I have my feet on the ground, I often ask for anything negative that I want to be removed to go right back into the earth and to be given back to God, who can heal it and transmute it into more positive energy. Another thing that I like to do is gardening lately has been a really powerful way to raise my vibration. Think about it. I'm basically grounding my hands, right? And my senses and everything else when I'm gardening. And gardening can really affect your energy. Plus, most of the time you're out in the sun, so it's going to raise your vibe. Doing self-care. I know you guys have heard that many times, but self-care is literally doing that. It's taking care of yourself, and it's a way of letting that pain go and letting those things go by taking care of yourself, which is going to really raise your vibration. One of the biggest things you can do to raise your vibration and protect your energy is forgiveness work. Really forgiving your past. Letting go of bitterness and resentment. Really working on getting closure. Anytime that you don't have closure on something or don't have that door shut that you actually have forgiven someone, there is an energy that is lingering around that is still attached to you on a very low, painful, vibrational stance in many ways. And so when you are holding on to things like not forgiving that person or being really angry with them, you are putting yourself into that energy. Does that make sense? And that is going to keep transmuting and giving off things that really want to be attached to that type of energy to you. And it's going to be very hard to protect yourself against those things if they're always in your mind. See, energy recycles. Think of that little recycle symbol, how it goes like Faith, you know what I'm saying? It goes like, boop, boop. Okay. That's how your energy is too. Your energy cycle is basically the same as the recycle symbol. And so whatever you take in is what's going to come back out of you energetically. And whatever is coming out of you is going to keep coming back in. It's literally a recycle form. So if you are harboring anger and resentment and bitterness, it's going to recycle back into what you're giving out, which is going to be what you attract. So you might be doing inner work to protect yourself from that type of energy without even realizing that if that energy is still in you, then you're doing work that's not going to be effective until you really let go of that energy. You're just going to be kind of doing just back ass work, right? So you're going to want to make sure you're doing that. Hi, Erin. Hi, Tracy. So really make sure you're doing forgiveness work and work on that, and that's going to raise your vibration. Because where your attention goes is where your energy grows. And yeah, think about what you're talking about, what you're thinking about. That's energy. Okay, energy is all around us, and oftentimes your energy level, if you're really tired and you're really drained all the time, that's going to tell you a lot about where your emotional level is too, and what you're experiencing internally too. Hi, Holly. Hi, Tracy. Hi, Mary. So remember that those things are telling you things too. So when you find yourself in a state where your energy is really low, there are things that I want you to do to increase that vibe. So we talked about doing gratitude and raising it that way. We talked about grounding yourself. We talked about meditation, being barefoot. Another awesome way, a simple way to raise your energy, which in return will protect your energy, is smell therapy. Have you ever heard of such a thing? Did you know that when you smell something that you like and you associate with happiness or a childhood memory that was good or things like that, right? The smell of things that make you happy, even the smell of like cotton candy and baked goods and stuff like that you like, it raises your vibration. Did you know that? So there are certain vibrations that smell so good that instantly boost your energy. Did you know citrus, like the smell of pineapple, the smell of oranges and lemons, they have a vibration in them that create an energetic field around you that is almost like a joyful state. Did you know that? Isn't that cool? So if you have like essential oils that you can put in the diffuser that are citrus type smells, you're going to raise the vibration and energy of your house, but you can also wear them. I wear the citrus orange essential oil all the time, and I do notice a major difference when I put that on days where I'm really tired. So smell therapy is a good one, just putting smells around that raise your vibe. And what's another one? Music. If you have music that has like there's a whole concept about vibrational therapy when it comes to music. So you can listen to different binaural beats on YouTube, and you just got to make sure you have your headphones on. And the headphones allow you to literally access these vibrations at different levels that are supposed to transmute things to your brain telepathically. So they're supposed to raise your vibration. There's binaural beats that are for depression. There's some that are for manifesting money, for love, but there's all kinds of different hurts and different things that you can just Google whatever you're experiencing, whatever you're trying to raise your energy on. And listen to those at night. I know people swear by listening to those at night that they have really changed their energy levels, and the higher their energy levels are, they notice they're manifesting all kinds of things and really feeling better in general. So you can not only do the sound therapy, but you can do the ear therapy too. So our senses play a really big role in our lives anyway. So music can definitely do that, but especially mindful music. I listen to Law of Attraction music. There's an artist called Karen Drucker, and I listen to her playlist all the time on Pandora and YouTube, and all her music is positive. And so I listen to that in the morning, and she has this one song, I start my day with joy, when I start my day with joy. Okay, all her songs are like that. And so when I'm doing that and I find myself throughout the day hearing that music, it's going to put me in a lot better mood than smack that, you know what, right? Not that every now and then we don't want to hear some of that music, but putting different style of music is going to really affect it too. So it's going to raise your vibe. Also doing things that allow you to be silly. I mean, you can even grab, speaking of smell therapy, you can even grab pens, like different pens that smell when you write. There is such a thing. Even down to sight therapy. When you're writing, if you're at work and you know you're in a low vibe job, grab pretty gel pens and things that when you see them aesthetically, they raise your vibe because they feel good to see them. So does being organized. It raises your vibe. When you have to be in a workspace that is a hot mess and there is stuff everywhere, your energy is going to be lower. And the lower it is, the more receptive you are to having things and people that are also those same ways. Another one is using prayer. Use prayer to protect your energy. I know my friend Diane had sent me one about from Archangel Michael, and it's a very special prayer that you can say, and you can Google it. It's on the internet too, about what to say to Archangel Michael or what to say to God to really ask for protection over you, to protect your energy and keep your energy high. Another one is mind dumping. So the more that you mind dump and the more that you journal, hi Amber, if you journal, you're mind dumping, right? If you use the voice to clip in the car and you talk about the things that are on your mind, you're doing what's called mind dumping. I was talking to my client, my one-on-one client about this last night when we were doing a soul development session. So this is huge. One of the biggest things you can do to raise your vibration is by simply letting the things out in your mind that are causing your vibration to be low or off anyway. And so what that means is this: when you journal, when you meditate, okay, what you do is you literally allow everything that's in here to dump out and be put on paper. Or you allow everything that's in here to dump out and be released when you meditate. And when you do that, right, you allow all of this somewhere to go. When you are not journaling, everything that you have held in all day without wearing it, without realizing it, you are wearing it, okay? You just don't realize it, but everyone else can feel it around you because your energy is transmuting that out to your environment. So when you write things down, what you do is you simply release what you are holding in and you're wearing out loud, okay? But you give it somewhere to go instead of venting to someone, instead of lowering their energy by having to hear what's going on that might not feel so good to you, but feels good to get out. You then do it in a healthy format and you write it out. And what that also does is it gives you access when you're writing, okay? Let's think about when you're writing, your brain has to stop talking for a moment. Your insecurities, your inner child, all that has to stop talking for a moment because it has to focus on a job. And the job it's focusing on is writing down. So your highest self, though, she's a badass. She can do 1,000 and a million things. So when you're writing, she is allowed to have a voice because this one stops. And so a lot of times when you're writing down, the insecurities come out first. But the more you start writing and dumping and releasing, the higher versions of you start turning those insecurities into beautiful transformational words. So mind dumping is a great way to really allow yourself to raise your vibration. Another one is, what was I going to say? I know we said a whole bunch. Saging. Oh, thank you. Saging is another one. That's a good one. But I say everything you do should have intentions. So when I sage, If you don't have sage, don't worry about it. If you go around your home and you set intentions of your home, of the vibrations you want, okay? Because everything's a vibration. So if you go into your home and you want this to be a place that you all laugh and you create memories and your kids feel safe in, or you come home and you feel loved in this home, in this space, you set an intention of a high energy to happen in your home. When you go in your living room, what do you want to happen in there? Do you want people to come in there that have great energy too? Right? So you set the intentions, and that will set the bar of the energy that you'll allow. So if you don't have sage, don't stress about it. Even just carry a candle around and just give gratitude and set intentions for what you want to take place in that home, and that will protect you in many, many ways. Down to even spraying your sheets. Like, so there are times when you might have a guest and your guest has an energy that you just are very vulnerable to. But you want to protect yourself, okay? Because sometimes we have mother-in-laws or people that we have to see. I mean, we can't always just say, oh, we're never going to deal with a person's energy that doesn't match ours. That's just bullshit, and it's not real life. The most powerful thing about being enlightened and being a spiritual being is being a spiritual being who prepares herself for success. And one of the quickest ways to prepare yourself for success is knowing your own emotional boundaries and knowing what makes you feel low energy and it makes you feel not protected, okay? So you got to protect yourself. So one thing that I like to do is get a little glass bottle and I put lavender in there and I put Palo Santo in there. Hi, Melissa. And I put, hi, Stephanie. I don't put them in there, but I put Palo Santo in there and lavender in there. And I put orange spray and I put, oh, I'm forgetting something, grounding oil, okay? And I shake it up really good before that guest is going to come in my home. And yes, and frankincense and myrrh. And I spray all over the house and set intentions, or I spray the sheets of that guest or the couch or whatever, and I set the intentions before they come of what that's going to protect me from. Amber said, I have a misting spray that I like to use. Ah, that's so funny. We're on the same page. Yes, because when I was talking earlier about grounding, hi Stephanie, about grounding and protecting yourself through doing all of those things. Grounding and gardening and doing all of that is very much like essential oils, right? Hi, Angela. Hi, Miss Pearl. Because when you use essential oils, they have that same kind of effect of the sun, right? And the energy of the sun and the energy of the creator and all those things. And a lot of essential oils have a very high vibration, which is going to raise your vibration. And the higher your vibe is, then the higher you are protected. And that's what I was talking about earlier. It's so crazy how smell therapy can actually really raise your vibe. Perry Ellis does smell good, honey. So does Good Credit, okay? So does a man with a job. Cord cutting is another way to raise your vibration, because if you don't have these attachments that put you in a low vibe attached to you and sucking you dry, then of course you are going to operate at a better energy and a more effective energy. So make sure that you're doing those cord cutting releasing ceremonies like that I had shared in here for free. And you're doing things like when it's the new moon, and you're doing things to really release things that are keeping your energy low, okay? So that's a big one. Another time that you're going to want to protect your energy is... what was that? What was I going to say? Oh, from energy vampires. There is a difference. I heard this lady put it like this, and I love that. There's a difference between an energy vampire and an energy leech. Not all energy not all energy leeches are toxic. Some people really just, they leech onto you because when they're around you, you have what they want. You are where they want to be spiritually, emotionally. And you provide an insight to them that they're really drawn to. So they're not trying to be toxic. They leech onto you because you have a lot of answers, but they just don't know how to get them. So that can still be very tiring, and it still can be very emotionally stressful to you, right? Then there's an energy vampire that's a negative energy, where it's a narcissistic energy, where they almost like feed onto you and then take all your ideas and take credit for them, or feed onto you and then take your things about you that make you beautiful and turn them against you, right? And then that really lowers your energy, and you want to protect yourself from that, and especially from that feeling of being drained. Okay, so there's a difference there. I also want to say, did you know that one of the largest ways that you manifest things is based off of your energy? The energy that you give out, your emotional energy, your spiritual energy, and your physical energy are all from your words, your actions, your behavior, and those all are radiating energy that you give off. So you need to be careful of what you're saying and doing, as well as the people that you're around. Positive thinking is the easiest way to really increase your energy. So I know that this has been kind of long, and I know we have went several directions here, but I want you to go back if you are experiencing low energy, or you're experiencing where you feel like you're not in control of your energy, but when you go into a crowded room, the crowd is in control of you, or you go into the job and the job is control of your energy. I want you to go back and listen to all these things I suggested, because there's so many good ones on how to really raise your vibe and protect your energy. I think I gave like 15 of them. So find one that works for you. And any ladies that come on, if you watch the replay or you're watching now, I would love you guys to talk about what you personally do that raises your vibration and protects you around people who may try to take your energy or have toxic energy. What do you guys do in those situations that you have to be in with those people? A chronic complainer, or a Debbie Downer, or someone who always compares you to someone else. What do you guys do in those situations to protect yourself? Because the more ideas we have as a collective community, the more that it will help all the women in here. And I definitely am not your one-stop shop. I just know what works for me. And those are things that really, really work for me. So I hope that these help you, and I'd love to hear what you guys have as well. And thank you for taking the time to watch this. And if you have any questions, you can go in that little thing I made and ask me. It was like, ask me anything, I think is what I titled it. And I'll do a live on anything you guys want to know. So I hope this helps. Bye guys. Thanks Christina for the question.